Hello everyone and welcome to this Friday's episode of Sports Corner. I'm Cole Young and one of the biggest events in sports begins today, so I'll get right to it. Tonight begins Game 1 of the World Series matchup of the Los Angeles Dodgers and the Toronto Blue Jays. First, let's rewind a little bit and recap how we got here. The LA Dodgers opened their playoff run by sweeping the Cincinnati Reds in 2 games. Then they fought hard with the Philadelphia Phillies, eventually eliminating them 3-1 in the NLDS. In the NLCS, LA shocked the world by sweeping the #1 team in baseball, the Milwaukee Brewers. In that final Game 4 with the Brewers, Shohei Ohtani yet again put on a historic, once-in-a-lifetime performance. Actually, while this is pretty wild to say, this may be Ohtani's greatest game of all time. Here's some quick facts about that night. Ohtani led off the bottom of the first inning with a home run, becoming the first pitcher to hit a leadoff homer in any MLB game, regular season or postseason. He's the only player in postseason history to lead off a game which he started on the mound, which he now has done twice. He then went on to hit another homer in the 4th inning and then a 3rd home run in the 7th inning. He became the first pitcher with multiple home runs in a postseason game. On the mound, Ohtani went 6+ scoreless innings, allowing 2 hits and striking out 10 batters. He's the first player in MLB history to strike out even 5 batters in a game where he hit 3 home runs, and he struck out 10. And that's in any game, regular season, postseason, World Series, doesn't matter. This was the second time in his career Ohtani had at least 10 strikeouts as a pitcher and multiple home runs at the plate in a game, including playoffs. He's the only player to do that twice or more in a career. He finished the night going 3 for 3 with 3 home runs and 3 RBIs, and the defending champion Dodgers defeated the Brewers 5-1 to head back to the World Series for the 2nd consecutive year and the 3rd time in the past 6 years. In their previous 22 total World Series appearances, the Dodgers have won the pennant 8 times and are looking to make it 9 wins in their 23rd appearance. However, in their way stands the powerhouse Toronto Blue Jays. After a bye in the wild card round, the Blue Jays defeated the reigning AL champion New York Yankees 3-1. Then in the ALCS, Toronto fought hard with the Seattle Mariners, taking the series all the way to Game 7. Toronto hadn't participated in a Game 7 since the 1985 ALCS against the Royals, while this was Seattle's first Game 7. In fact, this was only Seattle's 4th time ever advancing to the ALCS, and they still have not ever made their way to a World Series. In this winner-go-home Game 7, George Springer hit a go-ahead 3-run home run in the 7th inning, and the Blue Jays won their first American League title since 1993 by beating the Mariners 4-3. Prior to this season, the Blue Jays have only been to 2 World Series in 1992 and 1993, and Toronto won both of those titles, making them just one of 2 teams with multiple appearances that are undefeated in the World Series, the other being the Miami Marlins. As I mentioned, the race for the World Series title begins tonight. The Dodgers will head north to Toronto for Games 1 and 2, which will be tonight and tomorrow, both at 5 p.m. Then Games 3 through 5 will head back to LA on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. If necessary, Games 6 and 7 will be next weekend back in Toronto. Don't miss out on any of the games over the next week, and by this time next week, we may have crowned a new champion. Moving over to the NFL, we had another wild week. On Thursday night, Joe Flacco and Jamar Chase led the Cincinnati Bengals on a wild comeback to upset the Pittsburgh Steelers 33-31. The 40-year-old Flacco finished his night with 342 yards, 3 touchdowns, and 0 interceptions. A large portion of those yards came from Jamar Chase, who had 16 receptions for 161 yards and 1 touchdown. On Sunday, however, almost everything went according to plan, and the teams that were projected to win, well, did. That doesn't mean the day came without any excitement, though. Shut out for 3 entire quarters, the Denver Broncos rallied in the 4th quarter in one of the most stunning comebacks in NFL history. Will Lutz kicked a 39-yard field goal as time expired, lifting Denver to a thrilling 33-32 win over the New York Giants. Heading into the 4th quarter, the score sat at 19-0 with the Giants in the lead. From there, it was all Denver. Quarterback Bo Nix threw for 2 touchdowns and ran for 2 touchdowns, becoming the first player ever to do so in a 4th quarter. The Broncos' 33 4th quarter points were the most in NFL history by any team that was shut out for the first 3 quarters, and the win snapped an almost impossible streak in the NFL. Prior to this game, teams had won 1,602 consecutive games when leading by 18 points in the final 6 minutes of a game. That is, until Sunday. Denver now jumps to the top of the AFC West standings and is now a top 5 team in the league. Last week, I got back on track, going 4-0 again with my picks, bringing me to 20-4 on the season. Hopefully, I can make it back-to-back undefeated weeks. This week, I'll go with the Bengals over the winless Jets, the Eagles to get back on track with a win over the Giants, the 49ers to continue their winning ways and beat Houston, and my upset pick of the week, the Bears to beat the Ravens. In the world of college football, for the first time in a while, there really weren't any shocking upsets. The one game that could be considered an upset, though not too shocking, was number 9 Georgia's victory over number 5 Ole Miss. Gunnar Stockton passed for 289 yards and 4 touchdowns, including 3 to tight end Lawson Lucky, and Georgia overcame Trinidad Chambliss and Mississippi's powerful offense to rally for a 43-35 win over the Rebels. There was some movement in the top 25 rankings, like Vanderbilt jumping all the way up to the top 10, LSU falling down to 20, USC falling out of the top 25 completely, and a few other moves. Like I've been saying though, it's a long season, and this list will change drastically every week. The NBA season officially tipped off this week. While our local Los Angeles Lakers may have started their season with a loss to the Golden State Warriors, Luka Doncic picked up directly where he left off. Doncic scored a staggering 43 points with 12 rebounds and 9 assists. However, it still was not enough as the Warriors won the opening game 119-109. The other game on opening night was electric until the final buzzer. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, the reigning MVP, hit 2 free throws with 2.3 seconds remaining in the second overtime to give the defending champion Oklahoma City Thunder a 125-124 win over the Houston Rockets. It was just the 6th time an opening night went to double overtime and the first time since 2005. Kevin Durant had 23 points and 9 rebounds in his first ever game with Houston after being traded this past offseason. The rest of the league will begin their seasons this week, and there are games virtually every day for the next few months, so don't miss out on your favorite team's start to the season. The Formula One season is coming to a close, but it's shaping up to be a dramatic finish. All season long, Team McLaren has dominated, winning 12 of 19 races so far. However, along the way, Max Verstappen has won 5 races of his own for Team Red Bull. Verstappen, in 3rd place behind McLaren's Oscar Piastri and Lando Norris, is now just 36 points out from 1st place. With 5 races remaining in the season, Verstappen has a good chance to overtake the current leaders and pull off one of the wildest come-from-behind world titles this sport has seen. The next race will be the Mexico City Grand Prix, which will begin this Sunday the 26th at 1 p.m. on ABC. To close the show, the U.S. women's national team played in their first international friendly match since July of this year. They started off the stretch of the matches with Portugal last night and will play Portugal again on Sunday. Next Wednesday, they will have another international friendly match with New Zealand. These can all be seen on TNT, Peacock, HBO Max, and a few other streaming services, so make sure to tune in and root for our women's national team. With all that said, enjoy all the football, baseball, basketball, hockey, soccer, Formula One, UFC, and so much more that this upcoming week has to offer. Be sure to come right back next Friday for more news, updates, and highlights from all across the sports world. I'm Cole Young. Have a great weekend, and I'll see you next time.